Hello viewers, this is your host Sushil and welcome to my next video. In this video, we are going to learn how to use the functions of rank, small and large in Excel. So let's begin. So what is this rank? Friends, now these days or ever in our life, competitive, personal or social life, everywhere there is competition and ranking. So how we do ranking in Excel is now what we are going to learn here. And ranking being the utmost important activity in life, let us learn it how to take aid of Excel and do the ranking. Now here on your screen we are seeing some database wherein from serial 1 to serial 11 we have got some values of numbers. All are 2-digit numbers, and if we have a keen observation, none of the numbers are repeating. Now how do we rank them? Let us begin with the formula of rank. So I go here into the cell and say is equal to RANK rank. Now rank has got three different options here like rank average, rank equal and rank itself. So rank itself is what we are going to learn first. So it was a command which was preceding to the two next commands. So let us begin with the rank now. The rank function is available for compatibility with Excel 2007 and earlier version. So now what does it do? It returns the rank of a number in the list of numbers. So if now I choose to have rank of from this first number B2 cell, that is 43, and I give a reference cell or reference value as the array here from B2 up to say B12 and say function F4. There it is, I'm locking the cells, and then it asks for the order. I'll explain you about the order later on. Let me give you the brief idea about the function rank. So now you see I find out the value as number 8. So what does it mean? That in these 11 numbers, those are listed in this array, 43 is the value which turns out to be the 8th rank in this list. So if I choose to copy this formula to the remaining cells here, then I find out the values are ranked from 1 to 11 subsequently. So if we see rank number 1, it is 84 value. So 84 turns out to be the largest value and its rank turns out to be 1 or first rank. Now friends, here we are seeing a very small database of only 11 numbers, and so it is easy for us to find out the ranks by seeing the rank number. I have purposely chosen a smaller database or very small array of 11 numbers so that I can explain you this function rank. Now what is this rank descending? Let me explain you about that. The same thing I'm going to say rank command. I'm going to open parenthesis. I'm going to choose number B2 and from the array from B2 to B12 I'm going to lock the cells by using key function F4. Then I give comma, and the last thing what it says is order. Now here I can choose either 0 or 1. 0 corresponds to the descending order, that is nothing else, but if at all I decide to sort out the array or the cells from top to bottom in descending order, then how will it rank is what is the descending ranking. So if I give 0 here, it will give me the descending ranking, and I close the parenthesis with this inputs and say enter, and I just copy this cell to the remaining cells, and there it is. Now we see that these are the values of ranking in descending order. Now what is ascending? Certainly it will be the reverse. By logic, when anyone can say that. Let us go and see. So here it is. Now you know the logic or algorithm how to apply this function, and so I'm not going to explain you in detail about this. Now I'm going to use the value 1 for which I'll get the values of ranking as ascending. There it is. Now you see I opt to copy the formula here, and now you'll see this is what is ascending order of ranking. Now friends, as we had seen, the first rank here was 1 corresponding to the value 84, that was the largest value. So in the descending order, the value 84 will turn out to be number 1 ranking, that will be at the topmost, whereas the lowermost value, that is correspond to cell number or rank number 11, that is value 11, that is the smallest value, would turn out to be the lowermost in the ranking in the descending ranking order, whereas it is reverse in the ascending order here. And there it is, we see the value 1 corresponds to rank number 1 and value 84 corresponds to rank number 11. Well, good. I hope I am very clear about this. And now let us see what is this rank EQ and rank average. Before I explain you, let me give you a demo on this. So I'm going to choose rank EQ here. The algorithm remains the same. I have to choose the number and then the reference array. This is a reference array. I'm going to lock it, and then again, as required, one can give ascending or descending order. I always prefer to give ascending as my liking, and there it is. I'm giving the ascending order. So there it is, and I'm going to copy the formula here. Now, friends, if you see rank EQ and rank ascending, as I chose rank EQ also with ascending order, in this given 11 cells or 11 values, there is no difference between this ranking. So one can say rank EQ is equivalent to rank as it is. And then what is rank average? Before I go ahead and explain you what is rank EQ and rank average, let me first fill in the formula here and propagate it. So I say rank, I choose rank average, and in this rank average again the same thing. I have chosen the number. I am going to choose the array. There is the array, locking the array with function f4, giving a comma, giving 1 as ascending order denotation, and enter. And again I'm going to copy the formula to the remaining cells. Now if you see, the values here of rank EQ correspond and are same as of rank average. Now what is the difference between these two? Let me give you example or explanation. As I said in the beginning, these all 11 numbers are unique and do not have any duplicates. So by default, this ranking is also unique from 1 to 11 in every case that we have seen till now. But what happens if any of the values repeat? For example, if I am going to repeat say 66 here, and there it is. You will see the difference now, what I meant by having a duplicate value in the array. So there in that array we have got 66 twice, and as a result in ranking we have got two numbers ranked as number 3, and here in rank ascending the same numbers are ranked as 8. Here in rank EQ these two numbers are ranked at 8, whereas in rank average if you see, this is nothing else but the average of the rank 8 and the next upper value, that is rank 9. Here if you see in this ranking, rank 9 is missing. Whereas here in rank average we see that rank 8.5 appears twice. That means rank 8 and rank 9 have been averaged out to rank 8.5 here. Now this is what is the ranking formula or ranking way that is adopted here in Excel. Now before I give you further information about how to use ranking without repeated ranks, I will like you to learn more about or to learn about two more functions that are small and large. These are other comparative or competitive functions or functions used for competitive purpose. Now before that, I'm going to use subtotal function here to decide the serial numbers over here. If you happen to view my video on subtotal, you will understand what is this that I'm doing here. So I'm using the subtotal function to define the serial number of these numbers. So now I'm going to use count a function here, that is number 3. I'm going to give comma, the function reference reference I'm going to use say C2. I'm going to lock it, but before that I'm going to say C2 to A2 to A2, and then over there I'll go to A2 and I'm going to lock it by function F4, and with that I'm going to close it and say enter. There it is. So I get the reading as 1. So by default what subtotal has done, it has counted from A2 to A2 and it has returned the value 1. Count A by default counts only those cells which are non-empty. So I'm going to copy this function here, and as a result I get serially all these numbers from 1 to 11. What is the purpose of this? Subsequently I'll explain you. Now let us go to the function small, and I'll explain you what is small. So small is a function used in Excel which returns the kth value in a data set from the smallest to the largest. So kth smallest value will be returned here. So as I choose small command, there it is. First thing it asks about is the array. There it is. I am choosing the array. I'm going to lock it with function F4. Once I lock it, now if I want to see the fifth or the sixth smallest value, say sixth smallest value, I'm going to write 6 here. The kth value here is 6, and I say enter. So now in this 11 values, I have 55 number value as the sixth smallest value. So in this way, one can go on finding the kth value. So if I want to find out the 11th value, I can write the formula again here is equal to small open parenthesis, choose the array, and if I want to find out the 11th smallest value, I'm going to say 11 and say close parenthesis and center in 84. So the 11th smallest value will be 84, and the first smallest value here will be nothing else but the least largest value, that is number 12. So now if I want to sort out these numbers, these all 11 numbers from smallest to the largest, how can I do it? Now I have explained you how to use the small function, or what is a small function. I explained the algorithm. Now I'll use the small function here to list down these 11 numbers from smallest to the largest. How do I do that? Now I'm going to use the subtotal values which I have chosen here, or I have created here. So there they are. I'm going to use these values. So the first value is 1, the next is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to use them to sort out these numbers from smallest to largest. So how do I do that? I'm going to say is equal to small. Now it requires the array. I'm going to choose the array here. I'm going to lock it with function F4, then give comma. And now what is the kth value? Now my kth value here is the first smallest value, that is nothing else but number 1. I'm going to choose this cell here wherein I have used the subtotal function, and I'm going to close the parenthesis and say enter. So once done, now it is very clear the smallest value, the first smallest value, or the first small value here is 12 from this 11 array numbers. So now I'm going to pull the formula down and apply it here, and by default now you can see I have the values, all these 11 values sorted out from small to the large. So now in this function, or in this table, or in this column, we see the smallest value first, the next smallest, the next smallest, the next smallest, so on and so forth. This way one can sort out a huge database from smallest to the largest, and vice versa. If someone requires to sort out the big database from largest to the smallest, he or she will have to use the function large, and it is nothing else. It has got the same algorithm as the small function. Let me give you a demo about the large function here. I choose large, it asks for the array. I'm going to choose this array and lock it with function F4, and then I'm going to choose the kth largest value. So the kth largest value here, I'm going to choose number 1 here, that is cell C2, wherein I use the subtotal function, and I'm going to close the parenthesis here and say enter. Now you can very well see the first largest value, or the first large value here is 84, which turned out to be the last small value here in the small functionality here. So here it is, and here it is. So now if I choose to go back and copy this function down along here, one can see all the cells which are now returning the largest value to the last largest value in this column. So in this way, one can use small and large function to find out the kth value. I have used it here to sort out without sorting the original values here in column A. I have sorted out those values from smallest to the largest in column E and from largest to the smallest in column G. So viewers, I hope now small function, large function, and how to nest the subtotal function here to find out the values is very much clear. So had I not had this column here, I could have nested the subtotal function here very much with the small function. Now I'll give you a demo here. I'm going to use a small function here. Open parenthesis, it talks about the array. I'm going to choose the array and lock it. Once done, now for the kth value, I'm going to use the subtotal function, subtotal, and there it is. In that, I'm going to use count A. In count A, again, I'm going to give this cell as value here, and I will say from this cell to the same cell, and I'm going to log this A2 cell here with function F4 key, and the other cell or other value of the range I'm going to leave it as it is, and from there I'm going to close the parenthesis and close the outer parenthesis and say enter. There it is. So I get the value directly here of small, and I can copy this function downwards, and there it is. I have given you a demo of using subtotal function nested with small function. So in this way one can avoid to create an extra column here if at all you are very much conversant with nesting multiple functions and writing a very long formula. You are very much welcome to use it this way. Now let me go to the next worksheet here and now explain you how to create rank values without repeat in it. In the first worksheet here we have seen that when the values are repeated in the array, the ranks are also repeated, and this is not very much desired because certainly when we have got 11 ranks to be given, we don't expect or we don't wish to have the ranking to be repeated. So now in this worksheet I will be using a very large database. So in column A here we have got values here from A2 to A4001 cell. That means we have got total values of 4000 values, and now I'm going to use this 4000 values to find out the arrays here. Okay, so now how do I do it? Let me give you a demo here. I'll go to the topmost cell here and give you a demo here. Well, here I use the subtotal function as I explained you in the earlier worksheet. I use the small function. I have sorted out from smallest to the largest, and in the next column D I have sorted out from the largest to the smallest. So friends, we see that in this column A, whatever values we have, it has got duplicate values therein. And now I'm going to use the rank function here. Say is equal to rank rank. I'm going to open the parenthesis number. So now what I'm going to rank here is from this cell. The reference is the array from this cell to the last cell. I'm going to use Control Shift down key to choose the array and lock the array with function F4 key. There it is. I have locked the array. Now I give the comma, and now it talks about order. As I said, I always prefer to have the ascending values. I'm going to give value 1 and close the parenthesis and say enter. As soon as I enter, I get the value 2002. That is the rank of the value 1965 here, and it is rank as 2002. I'm going to copy this value here to the lower cells. So there it is, viewers. I have copied the formula of rank up to the last cell in the column F, and there it is. So after I have done it, now anyone can see the ranks here are duplicate. I have applied the conditional formatting here, and now if I wish not to have any duplicate rankings, how do I do it? There's a very simple algorithm. I will just apply the values here. First I write the formula. So I'm going to use the count if value here. In this count if, I'm going to say is equal to plus count if from here, from this cell up to the same cell, and I'm going to log the first cell here by function f4, and with this count if, I'm going to say comma a2, close the parenthesis and say -1. So before I go and say enter, I'll explain you this algorithm. Now what I'm going to do here is, if at all any of the values repeats into this, I'll say I repeat. If any of the values are going to repeat, so if any of the values are going to repeat here, it will be counted as a plus. So anything that comes twice will be added 2 times, and then if it is the second time that it is added, it will do -1. So this way the ranking will not duplicate, and there it is. Now I have made a mistake here of typing the formula name. Let me correct it. Count if is the formula here, and now I think I have done it right, and there it is. So now the value 2002 has to go back, or has to be removed. If I say go ahead and apply this formula, so now I have copied this formula right up to the last cell, and now the ranking are unique, and now none of the ranking are duplicated here. Though the values in the cell here continue to be duplicate, the ranking here will not be duplicate corresponding to those cells. Let us sort these cells and have a look at them. So I'm going to say sort smallest to the largest, and I'm going to say expand the selection. So not required. I'm going to say continue with the current selection and say sort. So as soon as those are sorted, the rank here by default change from 1 onwards, and if we scroll down now, one will see that there are no duplications of these values anywhere, and we uniquely find out the ranking varies or goes on increasing from 1 up to say 4000 here, with the increment of one integer every time. So though we see here as an example these 3994 and 3994, or let me apply the conditional formatting here for the highlighting of duplicate values. There are, so the duplicate values here, though they appear here, the corresponding ranking here are not duplicated. So for example, if we see this 3994 is appearing twice, but whereas the ranking here is 3994 and 3995, whereas 3995, this value appears thrice here, and the corresponding rankings appear as unique for various values here, and those are not repeated. So we see here there is an example of 3976, and corresponding rankings are not duplicate. If we see some other values here, we see 39881 and 3982 are duplicates, but here the corresponding rankings are not duplicated. So friends, in this way I have given you a demo of creating ranks which are not duplicate, though the parent cells may have duplicate values. The array has got duplicate values. Now in this way, if at all n number of students in class has secure the same number of marks, the rankings will not be duplicated. Now, let me give you a demo of the same application over here. So if at all I require to change this ranking as unique, what do I do here? Here also I'm going to apply the count if formula. I'm going to open parenthesis and say from here to there itself, and I'm going to lock this first cell so it remains common all along the row. There it is, and I say return b2, close parenthesis and say -1. There it is. And when I copy this formula down, one can see now the ranking 8 and 8 has changed to ranking 8 and 9. So subsequently, the same way here in these two columns also, we can make unique ranking by using the algorithm of countif and -1. So now what it did is Now I'll go to this cell. What it did here is it ranked the cell. Then what it did, count if. Now what did it count? It counted from B2 to B5 cell, that is from B2 to B5 cell, and from there it returned B5 rank or B5 count and then said -1. So that was number 1 -1, that is add 0 to 8. The rank was 8, and so it added count if value came out to be 1, and 1 -1, that is 0, so it added 0 to the rank. And in the next cell what it did is when it came to B6, when it was counting the value of B6 from B2 to B6 values, that means it was counting 66 from cell B2 to B6. It counted 66 twice, and those were counted as twice. So the count if value came out with 2, and 2 minus 1 turned out to be 1. So what it happened here was 8 plus 1. This is what was the total value. So 8, sorry, let me explain you properly. It was 8 plus 2 minus 1. So that is how it turned out to be 9. It turned out to be 9 here, and this is how the unique ranks were derived. Fine. So viewers, this is how you can access a huge database. Here I have chosen a database of 4000 values. There may be cases where you have database of say many thousands of values, and there this way of using the formulae of rank, small and large from Excel, nesting with subtotal and some other formula like count if, one can find out the unique ranking and do the needful as per the situation or the requirements may be. With this, I am coming to the closure of this video. I hope you have enjoyed learning these three commands: rank, small and large. If you have liked this video, please express your likes at the YouTube channel, and if you are not subscribed to the channel till now, please do it at the first chance that you have to subscribe, and enjoy the further videos. Those will be published at the channel, as well as the videos which are already available at your discretion on the channel. I'll be back with my next video soon. Till then, have a nice time. Enjoy.